Norwegian still has the clearly highest GDP per capita, and also the map showing the household income, so to say. So that is important to know. But another thing is that for the first time, when we look at the regional innovation scoreboard in a European, we have Norwegian region as leading region when it comes to innovation. And that was not the case when you had, so to say, the economy relied on the fortune of the oil income. So,
would you open up the regional innovation scoreboard a little bit? What is included in this?
It's a good question. It's about research and innovation. It's about starting up new businesses. It's about labor market indicators. So it's an index, just like Norway, the potential index, that it is a number of indicators behind it. So, yeah.
We have, yes?
Just a few remarks. Johansson, Minister from Iceland. It's right that Anna mentioned that we have had blooming tourism for the last 5 years. But I think also the reason was that Kjell mentioned that we are coming, of course, from something from the bank crisis and other things. So we are growing rapidly. We have GDP growth by 5, 6, 7% for the last 2 years. But the reason that we can still be strong in the future is that both the fishery sector, which is very vital for us, and the energy sector is strong and being stronger in the last years. So tourism has, can we say, come up above on that, but and some other things as well. So that's the reason, I think.
And it was to add that the disposable income is still lower in Iceland than, for example, the other countries.
Jan Tore Sanne from Norway. Let me just add that we lost around 40 to 50,000 jobs from 2015 and 16 because of the drop in the oil price, dropped from $120 to $30, $40. But since then there has been job creation, so now we have got more jobs than we lost the two years from 15 to 16. And it made it also possible to move resources from the oil and gas industry to other parts of our economy. So that was also the good side of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important, of course, to remember that this is last year's numbers. Things might have changed since these statistics were gathered. I mean, some of these are from 14 and 15. It doesn't go in it's not an overnight operation to gather statistics like this.
And let me also add that we have seen that in the northern part of Norway we have had a stronger growth than other parts, and also other parts of the more rural areas in Oppland and Hedmark in the inland, and also in Sogn og Fjordane, which is a rural area. The unemployment rate is low and the economic growth is higher.
Yes.
I didn't.
We had a question there. I think we will continue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm journalist Peter Belli from Finnish newspaper Helsingin Sanomat. I would like to ask you about that age structure map that you showed that looked pretty worrisome. That there are those black areas where you have more than half of the adult population will be over 65 years old in the year 2030. So a question to ministers, what kind of political solutions will you offer to this problem, or will we just accept that that is how the map will look like?
Who takes, maybe Finland has the most part of black spots on it, so maybe.
Yes, I see with great worry about the black spots that we have, and I think one of our important things is, of course, that we have a rather low immigration level. We have quite a low level on especially job-based or work-related immigration in Finland. There is something that we absolutely need to work on and improve. And at the same time, we also have to make sure that we find more solutions, especially through digitalization and the use of technology, that we can bring services to rural areas again back. And this we have been working on very strongly in the past 2 years. And we also have now a lot of new legislation in place which allows for the combination of different kinds of services so that we can really use digital platforms to make sure that those areas are attractive also for the younger population. And we have to maintain our universities also and schooling in those areas. And this is of course a local discussion and a national discussion which is ongoing in Finland at all times.
Thank you.
Maybe I can add something. I really believe also we can learn, for example, from Norway, because Norway has always had a very active policy for localizing support and infrastructure and what have you, to and economic budgetary support as well to all parts of Norway. And I think that is something that we have to look at and be inspired by in the other Nordic countries. So this is what the report gives some ground to do. So
I didn't comment on that map that we have here, which shows where 80% of the new population until 2030 will end up. And here it's very clear that Norway has a much more decentralized spread of the new people than the other countries have. Especially Sweden and Denmark are more concentrated in that way.
Thank you. I'm the Minister from Denmark, and I really appreciate this report. It's really a treasure of figures and facts, and we love to share and compare and learn from each other. And regarding the decentralization, I think that both Sweden and Norway and Denmark as well, we have very long also focused on actually decentralizing our state jobs, which is an extremely difficult political situation, taking the state jobs and actually moving them out of capital. Sweden has just done it recently, Denmark again, and that is a necessary tool to use actually to be able to create other jobs around the country. Just a brief comment on employment. I think we're talking about our aging population, we're talking about immigration. What we really need to do better, and we have taken in some very effective tools in Denmark, and it doesn't really show yet in the figures, is how we actually create jobs also for immigrants, and how we actually insist on being part of the labor market, which is extremely important when we look at the figures of people immigrating to our countries.
Yes, we have a question here.